I want to break it down and make it really simple so that then more people can actually find a path where they can regulate consciously and not keep getting stuck in those loops and ups and downs. And what I've found after the last really over 20 years of observation and working with like thousands of people's bodies, seeing what causes this dysregulation, I found there's really one core thing that tends to happen. I'm going to make it really simple. It doesn't mean that it's always easy because it is a process of awareness, of getting to know yourself, getting to know how you interact with your body, with your environment, with the world around you, with your whole sense of self. There's a lot here to unpack, and this is why it's such a beautiful process of healing and restoring a sense of wholeness, as we move through the world. And so there's three layers that tend to happen. And if these three layers are happening all at the same time and you are attached to all of them, it's very easy to get dysregulated. So I'll play it out. So first, and this can happen in different order, but there's something happening in our physical body. We all have a physical body and we all have sensations that are associated with our physical body. So let's say you feel a sensation, you feel tense, you feel something, and then that triggers a fear, and that then causes your breathing to become restricted. So then you've got not only a tense body, but then fear and maybe frustration and anger about why is this happening to me? And then more fear about is this ever going to change? And then your breathing keeps restricting, and that takes away your life force in your body, your energy levels drop, then you're more susceptible to dysregulation, on and on that can go. I've personally been there, and I
Yeah.
felt very stuck in that for a long time because I wasn't aware of these three layers. And I thought that all of these things are happening to me and it's never going to change. Here's how we break the cycle. First, we see that these things are just happening in your experience. There's nothing wrong with them and there is nothing wrong with you, which often like these core beliefs that are there that cause us to go into this fear state. You see that these experiences are completely valid. They're not just present for you, likely, they're compounded over many accumulated experiences. And then you have a like experience, and that's why it can get so big when we get triggered so fast. So here's how we create some space. First, we see our physical experience. Just pay attention now as you're here. I might even be triggering you as I'm talking. I'm sorry, by the way. I really am. And it's okay to be triggered because it's pressing on something within us, right? This is how we break the cycle. So we see what's happening at the physical body. What do we notice in our physical body? What do we notice in the sensations? And just practice just looking at that. I notice tension in different places. I notice maybe different temperature in different places. I notice that some areas might feel free and spacious. Other areas may feel stuck and tense and tight and stiff. And then don't go any further. Just notice that. Your mind may want to then attach to and feeling about that and all of that sort of stuff. We'll get to that. First, we look at that. Okay, see these things as signals. They're indications of something. I'll give an example. Let's say go to the gym and I lift some weights and I'm not aware that lifting weights can cause my muscles to break down so that then they can rebuild and become stronger. So then perhaps as I rebuild, I've stimulated my nervous system so that then I could lift some more weights. Let's say, though, I saw that signal as muscle soreness as I've injured myself. This perception of the signal, we can see that there's a distortion rather than, okay, there is muscle soreness, and that's it. We then quickly go into this means that, and that is, this is where the dysregulation starts. So, first, there is muscle soreness. Then, as we're noticing this experience, then notice the more subtle experience of the body, the breath. Don't have to do anything with the breath. Just notice it moving in and out of your body. Notice it moving through your body. The breath illuminates the body. So how is it moving through the body? Again, notice the signals. My breath feels short. My breath feels shallow. Maybe my breath feels deep. Whatever it is, see it as a signal. You can observe this signal and be safe observing the signal as long as you're not attaching to it defining who you are, the third layer, the mental emotional layer. what thoughts and emotions are here right now. And as you're practicing this, practice. So let's go back to that muscle soreness example. And I believed, right? This is where I'm accessing. I might see a belief. I believe that I've hurt myself. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's not true. Maybe you don't have all the information if it's the first time you've experienced something. So maybe you need some more time to observe it, to know what it is that you're actually observing. But what you can say is, I feel this. I feel scared, or there is fear, right? What we're not doing is then defining, labeling ourselves. I am scared and there's something wrong with my body, or I am afraid that I hurt myself and then I'm not going to be able to work and then I might lose my job and I'll have no money and then I'll die. I'm being like, that's an example of catastrophizing, right? Very good way, again, to dysregulate ourselves.
It's especially difficult when there are tensions hanging around for several weeks, months, or years that we really get hooked up by these tensions, and then the cycle starts going with, yeah, what you mentioned is this tension, why is this coming back, and what I'm doing wrong, and is this ever getting better, am I able to do XYZ anymore? And yeah, with this it just intensifies. And then just having the tool you were sharing, like, oh, there's just tension happening, can already bring some awareness and already some space for regulation in that moment and breaking the cycle.
Mm.